predictions for the next year 2024 based on numerology, just your date of birth. No astrological chart is needed. I also show you how to calculate your personal year to get very detailed predictions for the next year. Hello everybody, I'm Tina Chaudhary. Welcome to my channel and a very, very warm Namaste. Aham Brahmasmi. Numerology believes that life is a series of stages. Every individual runs through 9-year cycles in their life. Each 9-year cycle starts or commences with the personal year number 1 and it ends with the personal year number 9. Each one of these personal years carries its own energy, its own vibration, and its own power. Each one of these years depicts a different theme in our life, and this theme dictates the events that we see in all of these years. This personal year is calculated based on our date of birth. I'll show you how to do that. It's very important to understand where you are in your personal 9-year cycle, not only to see what events may happen that year, but also to see how you can best utilize the energy of that year. What are the things that you should do? What are the things that you shouldn't do because they may not work out well for you? That's why it's important to understand the theme of the personal year you're going to be in. When I make predictions in this video for all the personal years 1 through 9, I'll tell you certain things that you should do in each year and maybe certain things that you should avoid doing in those years. When you do those certain things in that year, you're matching the frequency and the energy of that year. So you may see excellent results from that. But if you try to do things that are contradictory to that energy of that year, you may not see good results. You may end up very frustrated and disappointed, which is why I'm pointing those things out. How is the energy or the vibration of each number matched or checked? Well, there's a concept. When you put numerology and astrology together, you get the most accurate results. So each number 1 through 9 matches the energy and the frequency of one of the planets in astrology. As an example, number 1 matches to the frequency of the planet Sun. Number 2 matches to the planet or the frequency of the planet Moon. Now, I know some people will point out to me and say, the Sun and Moon are not planets, they're luminary objects. For the purpose of astrology and numerology, I'm going to refer to them as planets. Before I show you how to calculate your own personal year and doing some predictions for you, let's see what the energy vibration of the year 2024 is going to be, because that impacts all of us and the world. So let's do 2024 and calculate what the energy vibration of 2024 will be. So now I'm going to reduce the number 2024 to a single digit. So that comprises of 4 digits, which is 2024. And in order to reduce it to a single digit, you add up all the digits. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4, and that's equal to an 8. So the year 2024 is going to vibrate at the frequency of the number 8. And 8 matches and corresponds to the planet Saturn. So we're going to say that 2024 is going to be a very Saturn kind of a year. What does that mean? I'll tell you in a minute, and we'll make some predictions based on the fact that 2024 is going to be a Saturn kind of a year. Now let me show you how to calculate your own personal year so you can listen to the correct predictions on my upcoming panels. So in order to calculate a personal year, all you have to do is add your month of birth to your date of birth to the year 2024. Now notice that I did not include the year of your birth. So yes, you have to completely exclude your year of birth. So the only 2 pieces of information you're going to add are going to be the date that you were born, the month that you were born, and the year 2024. So let's take an example over here. So I'm going to use an example of somebody that was born on, let's say, April 23rd. So we're going to add April, which is the 4th month. So we're going to add 4 plus 23, so which is 2 plus 3. And then we're also going to add the year 2024. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4. So this is, I have a sample up here, and you can see how I'm adding all the numbers together. Now I have two more panels coming up that show two sample birth dates that show you how you can calculate your personal year. Now you can always go to those panels. You can pause the video at that time and just kind of take a look and see how they're calculated. Again, it's extremely simple math. All you're doing is adding up some numbers. Keep adding them up until your final result is reduced to a single digit. That's how you calculate a personal year. Very simple, a small child could do it. So make sure you calculate your personal year and then you listen to the correct personal year prediction that I'm making in my video. I'm going to have timestamps for each of the personal year predictions, so you don't have to listen to the entire video, of course not. You go to the timestamp comment that I have. My comment is always pinned, and then check the timestamp for the personal year prediction that you're interested in and listen to that section of the video. Let's take a look and see what kind of energy 2024 brings us. Like I mentioned, it's ruled by the number 8, and 8 corresponds to the planet Saturn. Saturn is a planet of karma. What does that mean? It gives you the fruits of your karma. So basically, if you've had some good deeds in the last few years, it's a good year for you. You get good fruits as a result of that. If you've not been so nice, well, it may be challenging for you. Basically, you're getting the fruit of your karma of whatever you've been doing for the last several years. Last year was the planet, last year was a numerical value of 7, and it was related or governed by the energy of South Node, which is Ketu. It had a lot of separative tendencies. Lots of people lost their jobs last year. And this year, lots of people will be focused on their career. Saturn rules our career primarily. So lots of people this year are going to be very career focused. They're going to work very hard so they don't go through the job losses, so they don't have to pay the price of being worried about losing their jobs. It's going to be a hard working year for us. Saturn rules hard work, discipline, and honesty. And that's what's going to get rewarded this year. It's not the year to play truant or try to work through dishonest means. Don't do any shortcuts in your work. You're going to get caught. It's a time and a year to work with honesty and integrity and extreme discipline. This is what Saturn denotes. Saturn denotes work pressure. Most of us are going to have a lot of work pressure this year. Unfortunately, that's what I have to tell you. So this is a year when we have a lot of work pressure, a lot of responsibility, and a lot of people focus on their careers at the general level. Saturn denotes justice. So this is the year when justice will be served. We may know of instances, widely known instances of public figures, celebrities, where justice hasn't been served or it has been delayed. This is the year justice will be served. Now, primarily, Saturn represents the lower underprivileged class or the mass or the common man. And this is the year of the common man. Sun represents the politicians or the leaders. Saturn and Sun are opposing energies. So this is the year when the politicians do not have a priority, but the common man and the underprivileged working class, service class people will be more powerful than the leaders. In countries where there is elections and the common man has the power to actually overturn leaders and choose who they want to choose. They will make the decisions, and they have the power this year to overturn leaders and choose somebody that's going to be based on the policies impacting the lower level or the underprivileged classes. And so this is the power, or this is the year where the underprivileged lower level people have more power than the politicians or the leaders of governments. There could be chances where the leaders and the politicians or the high level leadership is overthrown and completely changed because of what the common man believes and the common man thinks. Especially in countries where there's going to be elections. These leaders will maybe voted out based on policies, and the policies related to the common people and the benefits to the common people. And that's what's going to be the downfall of certain politicians, is because they're not partial to the common people and the way they're being treated. So that's going to be one of the big impacts this year. That's going to be on the forefront, discussion and forefront this year by the time elections come, or throughout the year, even in countries where there is no election, that could come to the forefront, where the common person, the common man, masses of people come to the forefront and protest against leadership, and they want the leadership out if they're not conducive to the welfare of the common person or the lower level underprivileged service class. The service class and the underprivileged people will dominate this year. Before I move on, let me remind you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and this video is so important, you do want to share it with friends and family. Also a reminder, lots of new videos are coming up. I'm also going to do a video on the astrological predictions for the next year, so make sure you subscribe, because then as soon as I put that video out, you will get notification of it immediately. If you're starting a personal year number 1, then this is the start of a new cycle for you, and you're going to be under the influence or the energy of the planet Sun. Normally, this is a beautiful year to be in, because you start a new cycle, and this is when you decide what you're going to do for the next 9 years. But because this is a Saturn year, there may be some obstacles when you start new things. Don't worry about it. You'll have lots of good energy to be able to move forward. If you're in a leadership position, there can be some obstacles from the people that report to you or subordinates. But don't worry, you're going to be able to overcome them, because the Sun always has a lot of good energy to be able to overcome all kinds of darkness. The personal year number 1 is ruled by Sun. The year 2024 is ruled by Saturn. So you're going to have a Sun-Saturn combination this year. The keywords for this year are going to be new beginnings, new opportunities, very good energy, individuality, and initiatives. This year carries the energy of the start of new things. Just like you wake up every morning and plan the day, this year's energy is going to feel just the same, where you feel like you want to plan your year. You want to plan something this year, so you're going to reap the fruits of whatever you do this year in the next few years. Now, last year you may have ended a few things in your life. It could have been anything. It could have been a relationship that didn't work for you, jobs that you didn't like, careers that weren't giving you results, or you may have even moved to a different place or a different home. And so that's why you now have a personal year number 1 where you want to start new things. And this year's energy means that you're going to start a new cycle. New things will start in your life, but it all depends on you, on what you want to start in this new year. Use this new energy very wisely. Focus on yourself and how you can develop yourself. Focus on individuality. And more importantly, you need to focus on your soul purpose. The Sun represents our soul. So you need to introspect within your soul and figure out what is your soul purpose and what you need to do to realize your soul purpose, as well as realize your dreams. You will have lots of courage, independence, and energy to actually start working towards your dreams and desires and fulfill your life soul purpose this year. You will have lots of visibility. Just like the sun is very bright as it comes out every morning, it throws light on everything. You are going to be visible. So what you do, what you say, how you look is going to be noticed by everybody, whether you're at home in a personal situation or you're at work. Make sure you do everything right, because when you do things right, they're going to be noticed. But if you make errors or you do things that are not so good, those are going to be noticed as well. As far as career is concerned, there's a very good chance that you could be asked to take on a leadership role. If you've been striving to get a leadership position or get a promotion where others report into you, this year might be a very positive year for that, because the sun indicates leadership. So there may be positions like leadership positions or a position where others report into you that you may achieve this year. One of the things you need to be very cautious if you are already a manager of other people, or if you do achieve a managerial position or a supervisory position this year, is you need to be very cautious of how you treat or you interact with your subordinate people or the people that are at a lower level. Because this is a Sun-Saturn combination, Saturn represents the people that are at a lower level or the people that are your subordinates. You need to treat all your subordinates and the lower level people with a lot of respect. Make sure you understand their situation and their positions and value their contribution. Otherwise, your position could be very challenging and you may face some difficulties or challenges as a result of them. Usually during a personal year number one, person may have an inflated ego about themselves. You need to manage that, especially if you're dealing with your superiors at work or if you're dealing with the government related agencies. Manage your ego, otherwise there can be a lot of difficulty, bad consequences that you may face in your career because of that. Now, the same ego will also need to be controlled within your domestic environment with friends and family. Otherwise, it could also have some unpleasant consequences and there could be disturbance in relationships as well. If you are lucky enough to still have your father in your life, then he may play a very important role in your life this year. Make sure you give him his due respect and ask him to bless you so that you get the best of luck in your personal year number one, because the sun also represents your father. If you've been waiting for any benefits from the government, or if you've been waiting for any matters to get settled with the government, then this year may prove to be very positive for that kind of work. Usually the health in a personal year number one stays very good because the sun is full of energy, vitality, and it always gives very good immunity against all health issues. Although some issues that could arise, but that's only if you're prone to those things, is you could have vision issues or you can have bone density issues. And for some of the senior people, they may have cataract surgeries also during this time. But again, obviously not for everybody, only those people that may be prone to these kind of health issues. Having a personal year number two, then you're going to be ruled by the energy of the moon. The moon is fast moving. It rules our mind, emotion, mental thoughts, and also sensitivity. This is going to be a year of ups and downs because the year corresponds to the energy of Saturn. The moon and Saturn are opposing energies. The moon is the fastest moving heavenly body that we have, and Saturn is the slowest moving planet. So this is a year when there can be some emotional ups and downs. There may be some periods of depression, but there's always a way to get out of it once you recognize the fact that this is conflicting energy. Make sure you stay close to people, make sure you're there for people, and make sure you manage this energy by drinking lots and lots of water and staying healthy and taking care of your emotional needs this year. If you're having the personal year number two, then that's ruled by the planet Moon. The year 2024 is ruled by the planet Saturn. So you're having a Moon-Saturn combination, and sometimes there can be a little bit of a challenge in it that I'm going to talk about. But first, let's talk about what are the keywords for a personal year number two. Those are harmony, patience, peace, togetherness, but at the same time, it's going to be a year of emotional ups and downs. This year, you will not be working alone. You're going to be working in a teamwork environment. And so this is the year of partnerships and cooperation. You don't assert your independence this year. You will be working with everybody else, and that's what you're going to be happier in, and that's what you're going to be successful at when you work in a teamwork environment, when you work with others and you share back and forth. The sharing of emotions is going to be very critical this year. There will be events that will be happy and there will be events that will be not so happy. But just like the moon moves very fast and it wanes and it waxes, so it changes in size every day. That's just how you're going to feel. It's an emotional year for you. Your moods are going to be very changeable almost on a daily basis. There will be events where you will be finding support for yourself, emotional support for yourself. And there will be times when others will find a lot of emotional support from you. Like I said, it's a very changeable year. The way you will find happiness this year is by becoming very sensitive to the needs of others. Make others a priority. Maybe your partners at home or maybe your team members at work. Use this year to listen to others, be sensitive, and make compromises when necessary. Harmony is going to be the key. In the workplace, if you are in a leadership position, if you exert your individuality too much, it may not work for you this year. Like I said, this is the year of teamwork. You almost need to work with your colleagues, even with your subordinates, like a team member, not as a leader. There can be a lot of happy events this year as well. If you're single, you may find your partner because a 2 means two people. So if you're single, you may not be single for very long. Like I said, you may find your partner this year. People that are dating only may actually even get married this year, because like I said, the year of twos means two people together or a team together. So you may form your marriage or your marital team as well. And so here comes the Moon-Saturn combination, or the factor that I mentioned earlier. Whenever Moon and Saturn come together, a person has a lot of difficulty making or finalizing decisions. Because even when a person is very sure about what they want to do, about what decision they want to make, they keep questioning their decision and their action plan. So they keep thinking about it, rethinking about it, and because they're not sure. So they don't take action because they keep questioning their decision making process. So this is something that you're going to have to be very watchful of this year. And these decisions could be related to anything. It could be your career or relationships. So if you find yourself struggling with that this year, then you can either try to manage it yourself, or you can use the guidance of somebody that you trust, a wise person that you trust in your life, to help you make good decisions this year. This year, you may make a team of anything that you've been trying to or thinking about. You can make a team like a sports team. You can become part of a sports team. You can become part of any music team or any hobby or creative team. That's very possible too. If you've been thinking about it, then do it this year. It will be very successful. And above all, it's going to give you a lot of happiness, because the moon indicates our mood, our emotions, and our level of happiness as well. So as soon as you become part of a group of people, or you find a partner in doing something, whether it's a hobby, it's some creativity, or just getting together with somebody else, it's going to give you a very high level of happiness this year. And if you're one of those lucky people that still have your mother in your life, then this is the year when you share very good bond with your mother. If you haven't been sharing a good bond with your mother or a good relationship with your mother, this is the year when you have to repair the bond with your relationship with your mother, because the moon indicates your mother as well. So make sure you maintain very positive relationship with your mother and get her blessings and her love as much as you can this year. This year could also mean lots of travel for some of you, but for some of you could also mean relocation due to career issues. As far as health is concerned, you may have some digestive issues, and the reason for that will be your eating habits. There may be a tendency to eat either stale, processed, salty, or fried foods a lot, and that's what's going to give you digestive issues. So try to eat very fresh and healthy food. And above all, you have to drink lots and lots of water this year, because the moon does represent water. If you're having a personal year number 3, then you're going to be ruled by the planet Jupiter. Jupiter rules all the things that make us happy in our lives: childbirth, love life, marriage, friends, family, and all the things that give us joy. So this is going to be an extremely powerful year for you. And it's also ruled by the planet Saturn, like I mentioned. Jupiter and Saturn do very well together, and they give you very powerful results. Make sure you stay very honest, very ethical in your life, and you can achieve great things in your career and also personal life. A personal year number 3 is ruled by the planet Jupiter. The year 2024 is ruled by Saturn. So you are having a very, very powerful year that is ruled by 2 extremely powerful planets, Jupiter and Saturn. It couldn't be any better in many ways. So the keywords for your personal year number 3 are going to be self-expression, self-improvement, growth, abundance, happiness, friendship, travel, recognition, and also sometimes childbirth or extension or abundance in your own family life. Last year could have been a bit of an emotional year, probably very eventful and changeable as well for some people. Here comes a year that promises some of the best of times, good times, and a chance to enjoy several things in your life. Those could be personal times that are very enjoyable, as well as a very good time in your career. But it all depends on you and how you want to handle the energy of 2 planets that are extremely powerful, very diverse, but extremely powerful of giving very, very good results when they come together. Here comes a year that promises some good times and a chance to enjoy several things in your life, because Jupiter rules family, happiness, love life, education, marriage, children, amongst a lot of other benefic things. And Saturn rules our karma, the actions that we take, but also Saturn rules our career. So the trick in getting the benefit of both of these planets is that make sure that all our actions remain pure and honest. So if you want growth and abundance in your career especially, then the approach that you have in life is to stay very honest, stay very pure, and work very hard. As soon as you do that, with the approach changing to honesty and very high integrity, you start to see the benefit of growth and abundance that Jupiter promises in your life this year. Don't try any shortcuts or devious methods to get ahead in anything that you do, especially your career. This is a very promising year in terms of growth and abundance related to career and income. The one trick that you're going to have to use is to be very creative and come up with very creative and innovative ideas at your workplace, in your career, or in your profession. And Jupiter will help you come up with those ideas. These are the ideas that will make you shine and make you get recognized in the workplace. The second thing that a lot of you may find that you're doing this year is go for some advanced education, or you can take extra professional training and courses to further develop your skill set. This year, your personal life shines as well. You will have a lot of opportunity to meet with friends and family and enjoy a lot of time together, pleasant times together. In fact, if somebody's looking to start a family, this is the year where that might happen also. Those looking to get married, this is also a year typically where a lot of people get married in the personal year number 3. Jupiter does rule marriage. Jupiter also rules children. So both of those things are very possible in a personal year number 3. Your creativity is at a peak this year. You'll be very interested in either learning new things or advancing your education or learning new creative hobbies or just spending time with the hobby that you may already have. Not only will that give you lots of happiness, but it may also give you a chance to expand your network or social circle when you're practicing these hobbies. People that are engaged or enjoy hobbies such as any art, such as singing, music, dancing, will do exceptionally well this year. Individuals that are employed in the field of education or training will also do very well this year. Now, Jupiter represents our dharma, faith, the divine, religion. So lots of you may become very interested in those kind of subjects and topics. You may want to look for a guru or a mentor to follow so that you can learn more about these subjects. If you already follow a guru or you strongly have belief in some sort of a faith or religious faith, then this year you may have a lot of dedication towards that guru or that faith, and you may start following it with like a lot of perseverance, with a lot of sincerity as well. So there may be extra interest in that this year. And if you follow a certain faith or you're very religious, then make sure you do get the blessings of whoever it is that you choose to follow. Those are going to be very beneficial, very lucky for you. As far as health is concerned, this is not for everybody, but only those people that are prone to glandular issues like diabetes, thyroid, asthma may experience those problems this year, but certainly not for everybody. If you're having a personal year number 4, then you're going to be ruled by the energy of Rahu or North Node. Now, North Node and Saturn don't get along really well. So there can be some challenges this year, meaning in your career. You're going to be setting goals this year. Rahu is the planet that lets you set goals and you get obsessed about them. But Saturn delays the results. But don't worry about it. You're going to have the energy and the obsessiveness to be able to achieve them, and by the end of the year you will probably achieve them. Just stay very focused. That's the key. Focus is the key this year. The keywords for this year are going to be planning, focus, energy, obsessive, goals, but at the same time they're also obstructions and distractions. This year you need to take care of the details. Commit yourself entirely to your goals. Don't be discouraged by obstructions or delays. You will have amazing concentration, strength, and the focus to achieve your desires. This year you do things completely outside the box. You have new ideas, new ways to do things, and creativity is at its peak. This is excellent, and you need to use this energy really well. Use it in your career to think up new ideas, new innovative, creative ways to solve issues. If you're going to start something new, then you think of things that are completely new that maybe nobody has thought about. This is how you use this energy to your advantage. The beginning of the year may start out where no matter what you do, you may meet with some obstructions and challenges. Don't let that deter you and don't let it be discouraging. Just keep focusing on what you want and how you want to do it. The energy of the year will support you as the year moves forward. So keep moving ahead with wonderful focus and energy. Now, this is also a good time to relocate or travel to a foreign country. You may also find yourself either remodeling your current home or buying real estate or relocating. Now, this relocation could be due to a job change. Several of you may have job changes this year because of the combined influence of North Node Rahu with Saturn. These job changes could mean even somewhere in another city or another country. If somebody wants to move to an overseas or a foreign country due to their job, this is an excellent year to try that. This is a year where you focus on your material desires and wishes so much that you may forget about others. So make sure you fulfill all your monetary obligations to others as well. You are earning for yourself, that's true, but also for the welfare of others. Sometimes when we're very focused on our goals, we forget others and the welfare of others in society. Make sure you don't make that mistake this year. If you're single and you're looking for a relationship this year, then you may find yourself very attracted to people that are very different from yourself. The difference could be anything. It could be a physical structure that's very different, or it could be a race or religion that's very different. But Rahu means something foreign. Foreign meaning something that's not quite like you. So you may find yourself attracted to somebody, like I said, quite different from yourself in any way possible. Individuals that are employed or in their profession deal with foreign countries, overseas countries, export, import, or have anything to do with something foreign will do exceptionally well this year. Also, individuals that are working in the field of computers, artificial intelligence, or celebrities, film and movie stars, things of that nature will also do exceptionally well this year, because of the hard work that you're going to put in, the focus and the obsession that you're going to have towards working through your goals. This is going to be a hardworking year for you. And so this may cause some stress and headaches for you. Make sure you maintain very good health habits. Take care of your overall health. There also could be sleep disturbances this year for you. Rahu North Node denotes in-laws as far as relationships is concerned. So this year there may be a focus on relationships with in-laws. You need to make sure you maintain cordial relationships with them. There may be some challenging times or disturbance in that relationships. Do whatever you can to maintain a positive relationship with your in-laws. And for some people, there could be benefits from in-laws as well. They could receive things from their in-laws, or there could be inheritance received from their in-laws as well. Understand that this year you will carry a heavy workload with a lot of work pressure. But this year you are in effect building the foundation for your entire future. So with that in mind, no effort should seem too burdensome or distasteful. Though you will be building relationships as well as financial and career security, don't count on much of a personal or romantic time, because your focus will be so much on achieving career, financial goals that you may not be wanting to even spend time on your personal or romantic life. Do what you can to maintain a good work-life balance this year. If you're having a personal year number 5, you're right in the middle of your 9-year cycle. Now, Mercury is a planet that's very changeable. So this is a year when everything moves very fast and things are changing very fast. Don't get used to anything because it will change. That's the rule of Mercury. Fast-moving events, life-changing events, everything and anything can happen this year. Manage through this energy really well and be very flexible. Don't think it's not going to change. As soon as you get used to something, it will change. So be prepared for change. Be very flexible and adaptable this year. And you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a wild ride this year. The keywords in a personal year number 5 are changeable, eventful, unexpected, transition, and finances. The year number 5 is a time of change, a change in attitude, a change of work, maybe residence, and a general change of direction. Travel is good this year, and you may do a lot of it. Now, because Personal year number 5 means curiosity. You may find yourself delving into metaphysics, taking classes, or investing some new subjects, and this is going to keep changing throughout the year. Your interests may keep changing throughout the year, and you may go from one topic, one subject to another. You may even change your hobbies from time to time. You may change your friends from time to time. And most importantly, you may change your job as well during this year. There will be many opportunities that present themselves this year, definitely in the career and profession. And you may get very confused or very distracted by what to accept, what to turn down, because there will come fast and furious all throughout the year. You need to be very, very focused on what you want to do because your interests are changing throughout the year. You can't just grab the first thing that comes and then keep changing throughout the year. You need to think and focus on what you really want to do and which opportunity is very well suited in the long run. So be very cautious about changing jobs during this year. Sometimes during the year 5, people change jobs and they regret them later because they grab the first thing that seems very wonderful at that time. Be very cautious about changing your job this year. You may change your job. There's a very good likelihood, but you may not make a wise choice. It's always a very good idea to get somebody else to give you good guidance and wisdom, somebody that you trust if you want to make major life changes in a personal year number 5. Since you have come out of a personal year number 4 last year could have been a little bit of a trying year or a challenging year. You've probably worked very hard, probably didn't get very much anywhere or accomplish most things without obstacles. And number 5 year is a very welcome year because it's somewhat of a fascinating new experience for you. It's full of travel, but it's also full of meeting new people. It can also be full of fun and enjoying where you're going because now you feel refreshed after the hard work of the personal year number 4. Mercury represents communication, and so communication is going to be your strength this year. Use it wisely. You could be very successful in any endeavor in which you communicate with people, whether it's in writing, speaking, sales, or advertising. That's going to be your strong suit. So you make sure you use it wisely to maintain and build relationships. You can use it in your career to get ahead in your career also. So use this communication no matter what field you're in, because your words will be effective and people will be swayed by them. You will be very convincing. Use your convincing communication everywhere, anywhere you feel you can benefit from it or get ahead with it. Mercury also represents finance. So this is a year where you're going to be very focused on earnings, income, and finance management. And this year could be a year where you have lots of opportunities that present themselves to earn income, to earn more income, or multiple sources of income. Use these opportunities, but choose wisely. I've already mentioned that there's a chance to get distracted and try to do many things at the same time. Make sure you make wise choices as far as finance is concerned. If you do that, this could be a very, very successful financial year for you. If you tend to get distracted and try to do many, many things at the same time, you may fail at most of them, and it may not work out for you financially. This is a year when opportunity will present itself, but it's up to you to make the correct and wise choices regarding income and finances. Single people, you'll have lots of opportunities to meet new people, but you may not be in the mood to settle into a permanent relationship because Mercury means changeable. And so you may change your mind constantly. This is not the year where you find anybody permanent, but if you're lucky and you stay focused, maybe you find the permanent person. But this is a changeable year, so make sure you don't sign anything permanent or get into a permanent contract. You may regret it later. That's for next year when you go into your Venus year. Relationships will matter next year more than they do this year. So this is a year of dynamic change. Many surprises will come your way. Be open and ready to embrace new opportunities. Get rid of all the old stuff and the things that have not worked for you in the past. Adopt the new way. This is the year of rebirth and release after last year's terrible struggle. If you're having a personal year number 6, then you're going to be ruled by the planet Venus. Venus rules our relationships, but it also rules material goods, luxuries. This is a year you focus on relationships a lot. That's going to be the focus entire year. People are going to be around you and you're going to be around people, and you're going to be taking care of each other. Focus on your relationships this year, and also some luxury goods and having some fun with people. Keywords for personal year 6 are going to be relationships, duty, responsibilities, family, sacrifices, happiness, romance, with a sprinkle of finance. Venus represents relationships. So this year, the focus is completely on relationships. What you can do for other people, what other people can do for you, and generally the building of new relationships, the maintaining of old relationships, and the caring of people around you. This year, you may have a sense of duty, responsibility, and a domestic life. You may have to serve and take care of your family members, parents, and relatives. Yes, this is the year when relationships are tested. People may test you to see if you hold up your side of the relationship, but on the flip side, you may even test other people to see how strong your relationship is with them or theirs with you. On the personal side, there may be romance, love, and a desire to settle home affairs, and there's a strong possibility that a lot of you do settle into domesticity. If you're single, you may actually get married if you've been in a relationship for a long time. This year, you may also have a lot of domestic responsibility on you. Others may try to impose those responsibilities on you, but there will be times when you impose those responsibilities on others. This is where a year where there's going to be mutual testing of relationships. Venus doesn't only mean relationships. Venus is also deeply associated with income and finance. So this is a year of progress and financial advancement. Major career opportunities will present themselves. Now, but this is going to be a challenging year in where you'll have to find that work-life balance because of the fact that there will be many domestic and relationship responsibilities on you, and then you will want to also avail of the career professional opportunities that arise. You're going to have to learn how to balance work and life in a very natural, normal way, so neither one of them is either denied or overtaxed or burdened. So this is a year when you learn the art of balancing work and home life, because both of them are going to make a lot of demands on you. This year, you may be very interested in beauty and luxury products also. You may want to do things that enhance your own physical beauty, but also your home and environment. There can be purchases of luxury items and fashion items as well as decorative objects for the home. Lots of people may redecorate or renovate their homes and gardens and spend a lot of money on beautification things, not only for the personal use, but also for their home and environment. Individuals that are employed in their careers in the area of gems and jewelry, architecture, decoration, fashion, beauty, performing arts, textiles will do very well this year. Anything to do with Venus-related activities, also matchmaking, relationship advice, counselors will also do really well this year. Now, Venus does signify love and marriage, so single people can find that special someone this year and have a very nice relationship. And also this year could mean marriage for some people or a lot of people. A lot of people either get married in a personal year number 3 or get married in a personal year number 6. However, this is a Saturn year as well. So if you are already married, there can be a time when marital issues surface and need attention. However, you possess the understanding to deal with such issues effectively. And if you apply yourself with love and flexibility, you can overcome these issues very easily during a personal year number 6. Because Venus and Saturn do get along well, these issues should not last long. The one caution that I do have to put out is regarding your diet. A personal year number 6 governed by Venus means that you may be very fond of sugary foods, sweet foods, and general dessert kind of items, very rich buttery foods, and that may impact your health quite a bit. So you need to be very watchful of your food and your diet this year. Otherwise, there could be some issues with either diabetes, or eating those heavy sugary foods could actually also be not good for your health. Women can experience health issues with reproductive organs if you are prone to it, or you have if you've had that experience in the past. This may resurface. Definitely not for everyone, but do watch out for how you're eating, what you're eating, and your diet. Overall, this year means a lot of responsibilities in relationships and your personal life, as well as in your career. And this year teaches you how to manage the work-life balance perfectly. If you're having a personal year number 7, then you're going to be ruled by the planet Ketu or South Node. Now, this is a year of isolation and introspection. You're not going to want to have anything to do with the people in your life. You're going to want to introspect and have privacy, solitude, so you know what you want to do for yourself. And this is a year of self-assessment, solitude, like I said. Spend time with yourself and be spiritual, because that's what you're going to be interested in this year. The keywords for this year are going to be introspection, isolation, detachment, contemplation, solitude, spirituality, and the realization of your inner joy and happiness. This year, you will experience a very strong tendency to spend more time alone, to introspect within yourself and try to figure out things about yourself and what's going to give you inner happiness. The last year was a personal year number 6, and that was ruled by relationships. And you were burdened by relationships where you had to do a lot for others. Maybe you had to rely on others. Maybe you had to bear the burden of others. This year you're tired, and now this is a year that is for yourself. Ketu means separative tendencies, and that's the planet, signifies separative tendencies. This is the year you separate from everybody. You want to separate from everybody, withdraw into yourself, so you spend time within yourself. Ketu or South Node signifies spirituality. This is the year when you want to move away from the material world, away from relationships and people. So you may want to move into spirituality. You may be very attracted towards the spiritual world. You may want to get into some spiritual practices. Things like mantra chanting, things like practicing yoga, things like doing meditation may appeal to you because you're trying to find inner peace and joy. And these are things that denote spirituality. There's a difference between religion and spirituality. Ketu denotes spirituality, not religion. Jupiter is the one that denotes religion. So you need to make that distinction. I don't mean religion, I mean spirituality, where you're not materialistic, but you're taking a very wholesome, simple level to life, where you want to live simply and you want to move away from the material encumbrances of life. This is this year, where you're so tired of the material world, where you just want to be by yourself. Think deep thoughts and find what gives you inner joy, happiness, and peace. And you want to pursue that. As I mentioned, Ketu has separative tendencies, and this tendency could be very pronounced as far as your career is concerned. You may feel a disinterest in your current job or career. You feel that it's not best suited for you and that you should pursue something completely different. Be very cautious of this tendency. Don't suddenly leave your job without thinking or careful consideration. A lot of people do that during year number 7 and they regret it later. So your actions may be sudden and not well thought out. Don't do anything impulsive related to your career. You're going to feel like doing that, where you just want to one day walk out of your job, do something completely different. This is this personal year number 7 energy that's taking over you, where sometimes you do things without thinking, without careful thought. And you need to be very cautious of that you don't let it alter or impact your career in a negative way. At the same time, if you are well thought of and you have made a good career plan, Ketu or the personal year number 7 can also give career changes, job changes. This could also give you relocation when you move to a different home, city, or even country. And this could be due to a career-related relocation. This is a year when people may choose to leave your life, or you may choose to cut away from people. And this is a decision you will make consciously, because you may feel that there are certain relationships that no longer serve a purpose in your life. You are seeing through the people and understanding that they don't give you happiness. In fact, they may causing stress in your life. And that's when you choose to move away from some people or just cut ties with people, because you've realized and you have made a decision consciously that you will only be with people that give you true joy and inner happiness and don't give you stress. This is not a year to try to reach goals at the material level. Instead, give yourself more attention. It is your spiritual and mental presence that requires attention. Improve the quality of your own life. Spend time reading or contemplating about what gives you happiness, what is your spiritual or soul level, and gain personal insight. You are important now. Rest and attend to your own health. Too much concern and desire for material rewards will turn this period of your life into not a pleasant experience. Instead, this is a time for spirituality and letting go of material things, letting go of relationships that no longer work. There may be many strange, unusual, and sudden events that happen this year, but they're all inspiring you to take a closer look at life. Personal year number 8, then you're going to be ruled by Saturn. 2024 is also a Saturn year. This is going to be an extremely powerful year for you as far as your career is concerned. You're going to be focused on your career and getting ahead in your career. Work hard, stay disciplined, and you can achieve great heights this year. As long as you stay honest, don't do anything unethical this year. This is the year of karma. You get what you deserve this year, in your career especially. The keywords for this year are going to be material advancement, ambition, responsibility, hard work, action, and achievements. This is the time to reap the fruits of the past 7 years of your karma. So therefore, this year could be exceptionally good for you based on the deeds that you have been doing for the past several years. And you can get a lot of rewards as a result of that. Or it could be slightly challenging based on the deeds that you have been doing for the past few years. If you've been dishonest or you've been finding shortcuts to hurt other people, then this may be a challenging year for you. This year depends on how you've been in the past year. It could be very, very good, very beneficial, or it can allow some challenges depending upon your own behavior for the last 7 years. Saturn represents pressure, hard work, lots of discipline, and above all, integrity and honesty. This will be the theme this year. Using all these traits, as well as using good judgment, there's a chance to gain recognition and improvement in power, position, and material possessions for yourself. You need to stay practical, avoid sentiments, and being helpful to others is sure to be very beneficial for you this year. Saturn generally rules our career. So this is the year you learn about your own power, because there's a very good chance that you get a promotion or you take on a leadership role this year. Because this is such a powerful year, you want to make the most of these opportunities that you get this year. Deal with the energy of power, money, and success as far as your career is concerned. Don't be lazy. Don't not do the work. Make sure you're visible to your seniors. Make sure you establish relationships at work. And most importantly, make sure you perform your job really, really well. This is surely going to get rewarded this year because this, like I said, is an extremely powerful career year. By the end of the year, you may realize that you've achieved a lot in your career: fame, recognition, promotions, even material wealth, and whatever your heart desired. But at the same time, you may have neglected your family and your personal relationships. This is a year where people commonly make the mistake of ignoring your relationships. Don't make that mistake. Make sure you spend some time with your loved ones and in your relationships. Otherwise, by the end of the year, you may feel that even though you've accomplished a lot in your career, you're losing out on relationships. So don't make this mistake. Make sure that you do spend a lot of time or enough time to maintain the personal relationships in your life as well. The other guidance that I have is that you need to stay very, very respectful of your subordinates. You need to make sure you value them and you need to understand them and you have empathy and compassion for them. It's okay to be a very strong leader this year, which you're probably going to be. But at the same time, you need to be understanding of the people that work for you, the lower level people, service level people that work for you. Because if you don't, you're not going to be in a position of power very much longer. Because this is the year of Saturn, and Saturn indicates the common person, which I've said in my video earlier. So they're going to be more powerful. They will have the ability to pull you down. So make sure you're working with them in a team environment as opposed to being bossy and having an attitude with them. Because like I said, that's a recipe for failure. So make sure you're very supportive of the team that works for you, even those that don't work for you but are at a lower level. That's what's going to give you your maximum success. The other guidance that I have for you is to take very good care of your health. Normally, in a personal year number 8, person has poor eating habits. They're very tempted to eat processed, stale, salty, fried foods, that can be very bad for your health, and that can actually give you digestive issues as well. So even though you're working very hard, make sure you eat very well, otherwise you may have digestive issues. The other thing that occurs in your health is you can have pain in your legs and feet, and all this is a result of the overwork that you're going to be putting on yourself, the work burden that you put on yourself. So even though you're going to work very hard in your career trying to achieve the success that I'm mentioning, you don't need to sacrifice your health for that. So at all times, take very good care of your health, eat healthy, otherwise you may experience some health issues. If you're having a personal year number 9, then that means this is the end of your 9-year cycle. That means the ending of certain things. It can mean closing out of certain things. Mars and Saturn are not friends with each other. So this could also mean battling through things, battling with other people, and trying to end or find, like I said, close out a lot of things. This is the year of close out. Maybe just cleaning out your closet, maybe ending a bad relationship as well. The keywords for personal year number 9 are completion, finality, closure, fulfillment, and endings. You have a sense of completion, fulfillment, and the experience of closing out some matters. Certain things, conditions, or people may appear to be drifting out of your life because they are no longer needed for further development. Avoid the feeling of loss or resentment. Be tolerant, compassionate, and unselfish. This will bring the highest rewards. Job changes, breaks in relationships, and dramatic experiences are likely to be there, but clinging to something and becoming personal can bring disappointments. This is the year to let go of certain things. Clinging to certain things that are on their way out may only bring disappointment for you. Mars and Saturn are opposing energies, so there's a lot of internal conflict. Mars denotes actions, Saturn denotes restrictions. So there will be lots of responsibility and the pressure to complete and close out all tasks and matters successfully. You will do that with self-discipline and focus. You may encounter some obstacles in whatever you start to do or try to complete. You will start something, then suddenly it slows down due to some obstruction, and then you may need to restart it. So there could be starts and stops, but eventually matters get closed out and finalized to your satisfaction. There may be some disturbance in relationships with others. These could be professional or personal relationships, and this is due to your tendency to get into arguments and fights with others. Remember, it's time to forgive and forget. Overcome your rigid and inflexible attitude with others, or relationships could end very abruptly this year. This is not the year you want to start fights, because this is not the year you test your relationships. Mars is the significator of land and real estate. So this is the year where you may be very interested in having some real estate transactions. This could mean buying or selling real estate. There's a possibility that you relocate to a new place or a new house. And this could be also due to a career change because of Saturn's involvement this year. You may also find that you're bored with hobbies and sports that you have always enjoyed previously, or people you have spent a lot of time with suddenly seem to bore you or aggravate you over small things. When this occurs, you need to just retreat quietly and let matters sort themselves out or go to final closure. When this occurs, it just means that you're clearing yourself of things or people that are no longer valuable to you or provide any value to you in your life. The next year is going to be a number 1 year, and that's when new things, new hobbies, and new people will be entering your life. Hence, there are certain things that are going to leave your life in a personal year number 9, and that's what's really happening. You're letting go of things that may no longer prove to be of any value or interest to you in a number 9 year. Make sure you take very good care of your health this year. If you've been neglecting any nagging pain or any other health symptoms, make sure you get a checkup and make sure you stay very healthy. Mars indicates our physical body. So this is a very good year to start a good physical exercise regimen in order to maintain a good healthy lifestyle and have a very good healthy body. This is an excellent year to take good care of your body, change your eating habits, and have a very healthy lifestyle. This year offers a fine line between positivity and negativity, and it takes good judgment and discrimination to determine where to concentrate your efforts on and which matters to focus on. Use good judgment on what things you need to do away with and have final closure on, and which items you want to take with you on your next year, which will be your personal year number 1 and the start of a new cycle. Where do you want to put your efforts this year so you take them with you and you keep them and retain them with you? What are some of the things you want to close out and just leave behind and be done with? On the flip side, this is an excellent year to discontinue any bad habits that you've been trying to do away with for the past several years. Because this is the year of finality and closure, you could be quite successful in ending any of the bad habits that you've been trying to end for a long time. This could also be the year where you clean out your house and get rid of all the clutter that's been accumulating for so many years and you keep putting it off. Get rid of all the stuff that you no longer need in your life or in your home. You can clean out your closets, you can clean out all the junk that's been accumulating, and it's a perfect year for that as well. I come to the end of my video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I wish you a very, very happy new year and good luck for the next year.